let's have a little chat. It's not time yet for my 6-month check-in. It's mid-October right now. I think it's like the 20th. Things are not the same as they were in the first 3 months. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. Towards the end of the first 3 months, I was eating more so at maintenance. And the way that this was explained to me was that if I were to go into a deficit at the weight that I was at, a 500 calorie deficit, it wouldn't be a lot of calories. I'd probably feel very tired all the time. I was eating at maintenance for, I think, about 6 to 7 weeks, which was fine. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did resist it a lot. And in the beginning, when my trainer first told me to do it, I just didn't. But then we had talked about it since then, and he had explained some things to me, and I was kind of like, okay, like I was more on board with it, even though I didn't really want to do it. I felt like I had made a lot of progress that I liked to see when I was in a deficit. People were noticing the difference. I was really excited about it. I had like a lot of clothes that I was shrinking out of and old clothes that like fit me again. So it was really exciting. And then like to have to go to maintenance, it just kind of felt like waiting. Like, I don't know, it just felt like I had to like put the kind of progress that I wanted to see on pause for a while. Towards the end of it, I just felt like I couldn't wait anymore. Like I really wanted to get back into a deficit. And this is kind of where things started to go awry. I think that I had maybe like a good 2 or 3 days of like pretty clean eating. Like I was in a small deficit. I wasn't eating 500 calories less than maintenance, because when we talked about it and he had raised concerns again about like eating enough calories, I said, I'm like, well, I don't have to lose weight fast. Like I don't want to lose a pound a week. I don't feel like I need to lose a pound a week. Like I just want to lose like some more. It doesn't have to be a pound a week. Like that to me is arbitrary. Like I'm okay with waiting and eating a little bit more. I just want to be like at a deficit at all. Like a deficit whatsoever works for me. It doesn't have to be 500 calories. I'm not going to cut down that low. Like I hear you. I won't do that, but I just want to cut some. I want to lose a little bit more. So then I had a good 2 to 3 days in this deficit and eating clean. And like, honestly, I can't talk about this as if weight loss is in a vacuum and that's the only like thing I have to worry about, because that's just not true. That's just not honest. I mentioned this a little bit in the last video about like that time I had that really emotional night. And I was like proud of the progress I was making. And meanwhile, I had a lot of family things going on. The family things still affect me like every single day. And it's a thing that like, it's a situation that's never going to really be ever resolved. Like there's no like going back or like undoing things. If anything, it's just getting adjusted to the new normal, and the new normal is ass. Like I don't like what's happening. I hate it. Like it's terrible. I'm still dealing with stuff like that. And then meanwhile, I'm also, you know, trying to do what's best for me, like in regards to how I'm moving and like nutrition wise and everything. And I mean, I have already made a lot of really, really great steps that I'm very proud of myself for doing. Me coming on here and like venting about the thing that's going wrong with my nutrition, which I haven't even got to, I'm sorry, I'm really jumping all over the place. But okay, I'll finish that thought and then I'll get to things that are going better. So basically, I'm still super stressed about other things that are going on. And it's like, I just feel like I can't talk about this as if like, oh, if like all you ever focus on is the gym and nutrition, then like all your other issues don't matter. Because it's like, no, like it's still life. There's still a lot of other things going on. There's a lot of other factors. We're human after all. Like life still moves on, even when you are trying to focus on like, you know, taking care of yourself. It's like, there's still so many other things at play. And it's like, clearly, because I gained weight initially, like you can probably tell that I use food a lot for comfort. Like that's kind of what got me in the physical situation I was in earlier. Because after I injured my back, I put on probably like 20 more pounds. Like I was already gaining weight steadily, even being a CNA with how active I was. Like, you know, I mean, it's still COVID and back then, and you know, even like healthcare workers, like, of course, like they're super stressed out. And so I'm no exception to that. I was eating too. I was slowly gaining weight, and then I had my back injury, and it might have even been 30 pounds. I don't know. Like I put on quite a bit more after that because I was in so much pain. Currently, with things that are happening in my family, and like my best friend moving away, and then like my sister and my niece is also moving away, and like I've been counseling about it because this has just been a whole lot of really bad things, like a series of a lot of bad things just happening all at once. And so, you know, it's like I'm talking through it with somebody, and that's good, it's helping. I'm just saying, I get some really, really bad days still. And earlier this week, I don't even know how to explain it to myself, to be honest. Like, I don't know why this happens, but sometimes I get days where I'm like super happy, like I feel it in my heart. Like, honestly, earlier today was one of those days. That's probably why I'm like able to film. Like, I just felt very like uplifted and positive and like great, like actually great. It's like everything just kind of like feels like it's gonna work out, you know? Like I don't feel anything bad. But then maybe even just the very next day, my like chest just feels like steel. Like it's just tight and it's constricting, and I cry, and like my anxiety just gets so bad. And I have like had to take Xanax like multiple days in a row just to get through like the things I have to get done, like just to go to work. And I had a really bad day maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and I don't know like how this kind of came into my mind or how it crossed my mind, but like this was when I had the 2 or 3 days of me being like good, like with my deficit. I was doing it, you know, I was getting it done. And then I had this really bad day, and I don't know why I thought of it suddenly, but I was just like, what would really make me feel better is if I didn't think about my diet right now. And I knew even then, I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was going back to food basically to cope with things. But honestly, like I gave myself that pass because I thought about it, and I'm like, well, this is a problem, but we know it's a problem, but like, you gotta go to work. Like if this is if getting you a chocolate croissant, if, you know, eating like some fried chicken is all it takes for you to go to work and not break down, then go ahead. That was my compromise that I made with myself. And it's like, do I feel great about that? No. But I also feel like I can't help it. Like, I don't know how to explain this. It's like, I didn't choose to have food be my comfort like that. Like, I feel like everyone probably has a vice or has a thing that they do that they know is just like their own personal medication to get through the rest of life. And I feel like food is honestly probably the most common when you look at like, you know, obesity and overweight rates. So I mean, like maybe this does make sense that I say this, and like you do know what I'm talking about. But I couldn't do it. Like I feel like it makes me feel crazy because it's like I seriously was going to like have such a bad anxiety attack. Like and I mean, even then it's like at that point I had already had like a whole day, like the same time of day that I woke up 24 hours previously, I felt this anxiety so strong, this like heaviness in my chest, this constant like stress, just verge of tears always for the last 24 hours. Like I just couldn't do it anymore. So I kind of took a break from my diet is I guess how I would say it. For the last 3 or 4 days, I haven't even tracked. My streak was like already at 121 days or something like that. I was in the 120s for days that I have consistently been charting and logging everything that I eat for 120 days. And I just couldn't do it anymore for that time period. But so far as moving forward and for where I am now, I do want to get back into things, of course. Like, that's always been my intention. I just had to like let myself be weak for a minute. Like, I'm sorry to put it that way. Like, I don't know. I couldn't like force myself to have this like perfect approach, this perfect relationship with food, a perfect diet, a perfect like workout routine, because it's like, obviously that's what I want to show you, and obviously that's what I want for myself. Like, even without me documenting it, it's like, of course, like, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want the perfect routine, the perfect coping skills, the perfect like approach to everything, you know, this perfect idea of who like ideally you would be. But I mean, like, that's just not honest. And like, I don't know, I feel like in the first 3 months it was a lot easier for me to focus so hard on what I was doing with like nutrition and meal prep. And even though meal prep, as I mentioned before, like still super stressed me out because of the dishes and all the work that went into it, I think, I don't know, like maybe I didn't really need food the way that I had been needing food for relief in that time. But now things are just kind of like boiling over emotionally again. And that's why I'm now kind of going back to my old ways. At least it's really just been a few days. Like, I don't mean to downplay it, but I also don't want to exaggerate it. Like, this is just the facts of the situation. It's been a few days. I haven't been eating the best. I know that. I don't feel great because of it. In regards for like where to go from here, it's like, you know, I want to be like, I promise, you know, like I'm going to get like straight back into it. Everything's going to be perfect. I'm going to do the next like 5-6 months, however long it takes to like shed off the rest of what I want to shed off and get my perfect physique, and like, this is my time period and I'm gonna do it because I did it so well earlier. And like, yeah, I'd love to be like pumped up and say that, but like, it could also not, it's probably not gonna work like that. You know, it's probably gonna be like, if I had to ballpark, I'd probably say like 9 months to a year, honestly, because I'm not looking to do anything that's like, I don't know, consistent, like 1 pound every week. Like, a lot of people, for me, it's like, that's like a pretty fast rate. And that was the rate that I was losing at for the first 3 months. I think, what was it? I did the math once. It was like 17 pounds in 16 weeks. So it's like, yeah, it was a pound a week for 3 months. And it's like, damn, like, that's like, that to me, it's like, I'm still like, I can't believe I did that. And it's like, clearly it wasn't the most sustainable, because now things are like boiling up, and like, I probably just like honestly burnt myself out so bad doing it like that. So I don't want to do that again, but I also can't really say that I regret it, because I think I needed to do that and to have a little bit of trial and error to get to where I am now and be like, okay, so not that extreme, but like, we can still move on. Like, I know I could do it. I know I can. I know I have like the strength and the follow through to get this shit done. But I just now have learned a way that's not probably gonna work for the very long term. I had it in my head that January 1st, I would have all of this done, which probably sounds like really extreme and really fast now that I say it. I wanted to do this big like reveal, like new year, new me type shit. But yeah, that's just not gonna happen. And that's fine. Like, I'm happy that like I know that now, and I'm not like having all this stress on myself that's like, you only have like 2.5 months left to like shed a lot and then like have a, you know, a YouTube premiere, whatever this is supposed to be. So like, I'm happy I don't have like that time frame anymore. And it's like, who cares if January I still have another 20-30 pounds left to lose, and like, I can do that, and you guys can see that in January. Like, I don't have to get this all done immediately, You know what I'm saying? And I probably shouldn't, clearly. Clearly, I shouldn't. The positive thing that I kind of was, you know, starting to tangent into earlier that I said I'd talk about later. Well, hello, it is later and I'll talk about it. I started to walk a lot more, which I'm really happy that I've done. I like love being outside. There's this one trail that I go to that's got this like body of water in the middle of it, and it's like a perfect 1 hour walk. If you walk the whole trail, it's a loop. And I just love it there. Like that place, like I want the, okay, this might be morbid. I want my, don't be concerned about me. I'm fine. I'm just saying when I eventually, we all die. When I eventually die, I kind of, I don't know, don't like, please, I'm fine. I'm just saying when that happens, spread my ashes there. Okay. Like that, you don't need to check in on me. Like I swear to God, I'm okay. I'm just saying I'd like that to be my forever resting place. I'm fine, really. I don't know, like, I'm sorry. I know you probably don't usually hear people who are like 26. Oh, by the way, I had a birthday. You usually don't hear people who are 26 be like, this is where I want to be buried. Like, I'm not like your typical stable 26-year-old. I'm a little quirky, unstable. But anyways, so I've been walking more. I love this trail. I used to go to it all the time. I'm getting back into it. I've also been walking around my apartment complex when I don't have time to go to the trail. I kid you not, I have been walking on my breaks in the middle of the night. I eat at my desk now. I bring a little snack bowl in a insulated tote, a Hydro Flask insulated tote. I do recommend it. They're kind of pricey, but ooh, let me show you. Bruh, look at this color. This is so freaking cute. It's got this little pocket. I don't know what to do with it yet. If I was smart, I would put my my pills in a little baggie and just put my pills in here. This one's the 20 liter, which I think is the perfect size. It's got the little Hydro Flask logo, which like, okay, but it's perfect. I think that they had like a 7 liter one, which for me and all the stuff I bring would be way too small. There's also a 36 liter, which sounds massive, but this is the 20 liter. And no, I think it's so cute. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was like 50? Not sponsored, obviously. I'm still, at this time of filming, I haven't uploaded my first video. So I have 0 subscribers and 0 followers on Insta. Speaking of which, hey, why don't you subscribe? Why don't you follow me everywhere? Links in the description. I don't know. I think this is about all that I had to say then. Thank you for listening. Luna's sleeping, but she says hi. I don't know what I'm doing next. Did I say everything that I wanted to say? I don't know. If you have any questions, you can ask and I'll clarify. I'm sure I forgot something. I've been balancing like 5 different topics in my mind this whole time. And I just woke up. But anyways, thanks so much for listening and bye.